wasn't something I was intending on asking, but obviously you mentioned how, you're really good at controlling the distance and what have you. A lot of people always remember the Josh Warrington fight. For me, that was one of the best fights I've seen live. But that was just yourself and Josh just going at it for 12 rounds. It was relentless. Just to reflect on that, why do you think that he just couldn't quite do what you're mentioning now against Josh?
Well, I got it wrong. I got hurt in the first round, and I was hurt in the second round. I think probably in the third round as well. Going out for the fourth round, I probably felt like I'd done maybe 10 already. It took a lot to continue and carry on and get through them rounds. And that was it really. I just couldn't get up on my toes. I had a nasty bash on my thigh with a huge bruising on my thigh. I think it might have happened in the first round, just in an exchange, obviously accidental, but I had a bit of a dead leg. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it on the night. And I think that the main issue for me in that fight was I seriously underestimated Josh Warrington's punching power. I didn't underestimate him as a fighter. I knew it was going to be a difficult, grueling fight, and he's very fit and very strong, and very determined. But I underestimated his punching power. And if you watch how I went out into the first round, I was just way too relaxed, way too relaxed. And it was like a fighter. I went out as a fighter who thought that this guy can't hurt me. And that's what I thought, and I got it wrong. And after that, my game plan, which was to move, just went out the window. I couldn't do it.
It's interesting you mentioned Josh's power, because his record wouldn't suggest that he's not necessarily a knockout artist. What was it like when he first did start to land on you in that first round when he did knock you?
Well, that was why I didn't. His record doesn't suggest, like you said, that he is a puncher. And I've been in with some big punchers, and I've sparred a lot of big guys in my career as well. And I've been hit hard, and his record didn't suggest to me that he's going to be able to hurt me. And that was just me overlooking, and I just made a mistake really. But I promise you all, like, I have never been hit that hard in a fight in my life when I get hit in the first round. And I have been in with big punchers. Although I was dropped against Alejandro Gonzalez twice in the first round, they were kind of flash, and I was dropped down and up, and it was fine. My head was clear, like, pretty instantly. The Warrington shots took a lot out of me and took a lot for me to recover properly. He's a puncher, and he doesn't get the credit for it. Again, his record doesn't suggest he's a puncher, but I think that you'd be making a mistake after not listening to me and going into a fight with him in the future and thinking that he can't punch.
Obviously, I know it's not something that you'll be considering for this moment in time. You're both going down different routes. Well, after the fight, both of you said maybe if you got another world title of your own and Josh still had a potential unification fight could happen once again down the line, or if Josh was to move up or you was to move back down with that world title. Is that something you're still interested in, a rematch with Josh Warrington?
Of course, I just want to be involved in big fights, and that would be a big fight. So, but at this stage of my career, it's one fight at a time. There's fighters that I would like to get in the ring with. Jamel Herring is the guy on my mind at the minute, but Santa Cruz, I'd love that fight. I'd love the Warrington fight again. But it's one fight at a time at this stage of my career, and Jamel Herring is the guy that's on my mind at the minute, even though the fight isn't officially done.
Just to go back to that in the current scenario, then you mentioned Leo Santa Cruz. He obviously, last time I saw you was in Las Vegas the week before Wilder Ortiz too, I should say. Leo Santa Cruz fought on that card, won the world title, up at super featherweight, winning a WBA title. Firstly, what was your thoughts on his victory over Miguel Flores?
It wasn't great. It wasn't a great performance. A bit of a damn squib. It wasn't a brilliant fight. And the thing is, you look at Leo Santa Cruz, he can call himself a four-weight world champion. He just won his fourth division against Miguel Flores, who was a featherweight moving up. I don't know how he gets away with that. How do you get away with fighting another featherweight in a different weight division and becoming a super featherweight champion. Doesn't really make sense to me, but he does get away with it. I think he's been well looked after. He had the fight with me, thinking that he was going to win that fight because they'd seen me being dropped by Alejandro Gonzalez. I beat him. Then he beat me in the rematch, and he did beat me fair and square. But the third fight should have happened, but his team, they just protect him, and they didn't want it to happen. And it's a shame. It's a shame for boxing fans, a shame for myself, and a shame for Leo as well. I suppose a bit more of a blotch on his record to me. The third fight never happened, because everyone knows that I've tried my best to make that happen. I would have travelled to LA for that fight to happen, but hey ho, I don't ever see it happening.
Obviously, I'm sure a lot of people would still be very interested to see yourself and Leo have that trilogy fight. Over the past couple of years, since you both had your last bout against each other, have you had any discussions at all? Is it maybe, say, if you was to face Jamal, say if you was victorious and you had a WBO title, or would a unification fight be possible?
No, I don't know. I suppose it would be possible, but it's just something that I don't think will ever happen anymore. So I'm really kind of not thinking about it that much. Like, I've seen him about it, different fights. The Wilder Ortiz fight, I've seen him playing. He's playing poker at a table. I went down and just said hello, and try to get a conversation. He's like hello, and then turns away. He doesn't want to speak to you. So it's like he doesn't want the fight.
It's a shame to hear that, Carl, but obviously just to move away from that then and just get your thoughts on a few other things in the boxing world. There's a lot of talk at the minute about how the heavyweight division kind of rests. Who do you kind of class at the minute as the number one, AJ or Fury?
I think that although AJ has the majority of the belts, I think you have to put Fury as number one. Because he beat Wilder. I think that it is probably the Fury Wilder win. I think he beat him twice. Everyone thought he beat him twice, but them wins were better than any wins that the other two have had. So they were better than AJ Klitschko. They were better than Fury Klitschko. I think that was the best win, and you have to have, for that reason, you would have Fury as number one.
How do you think about between AJ and Fury would play out an undisputed battle?
I think it would be a great fight. I really do. I see a lot of people just saying Fury wins easy because of his last performance and because AJ lost Ruiz and stuff. I don't necessarily see it like that. I think it would be a brilliant fight. I think it's a fight that would probably sell Wembley twice over, and very quickly as well. Huge fight, but I would favour Fury in the fight, but I wouldn't be saying that with any sort of certainty.
Just move away from the heavyweights as well. Just get your thoughts on the middleweight division. Canelo Billy Joe Saunders was very close to being formally announced until lockdown and isolation and everything came into play. Depending on how that plays, obviously Billy Joe Saunders having his license suspended, but if that fight was to happen in the future, how do you think that one would work or play out?
It's another great fight. It's a fight that I would like to see. I think that Billy Joe, with his style and how he fights, has the attributes to give Canelo trouble. I think it'd be a very, very interesting fight. But I'd still favour Canelo in that fight. I think Canelo was an amazing fighter. He finds ways to beat fighters. He can adapt in different styles. He can even adapt kind of mid-fight. And unless it's very, very wide in Billy Joe's favour, he's not going to win it. I think that Canelo gets any sort of round as close, will go to Canelo. That's probably not, it's not fair, but that's the way it is. And yeah, it would be a great fight. I would love to see that fight, but I would fancy Canelo.
Another name that was mentioned for Canelo is Callum Smith. How do you think Callum would have fared if he had got the fight against Canelo?
See, I was thinking that there was no way that Canelo would have picked Callum Smith to fight. I thought that he was all wrong with him because of the size difference and just his natural attributes. Like, he's huge for the weight. And I just thought that it would be a step too far for Canelo in terms of size. But watching Callum Smith against John Ryder, not a lot of people were impressed. Obviously, it was an off night. It was the performance that we were expecting from Callum Smith. I would think that Canelo might have been looking at that fight and licking his lips, thinking that a shorter guy can do this to him. And let's not, kid ourselves. John Ryder isn't the fighter that Canelo is. I think that you'd asked me that a year ago. I think I probably would have said Callum Smith beats Canelo. I think Callum Smith's better than the Ryder performance, but I think that it's hard for anyone to beat Canelo. Really do.
Another fight that has been discussed and come up recently, Crawford Brook. How do you think that one would play out?
Terence Crawford against Brook. That's at this stage, a few years ago, you might have given Brook a chance. Right now, I really like Brook, but I want to be honest, and I think that Crawford beats him, and he beats him easily. I think Terence Crawford is pound for pound up there, one of the number one. Some people have him as number one pound for pound on the planet. He's certainly in the top 5, if not top 3. I don't even think it's a competitive fight.
Carl, before I do let you go, then, just final word on like, not the camp situation, but how is everybody else in amongst Jamie Moore's team and everybody who you train with?
We're all right. I suppose we're all in a WhatsApp group. Everyone keeps in touch with each other, and everyone seems okay. Everyone seems really getting on with things, and no one's getting this easy either, really. But we're just making the most out of it, and hopefully things kind of pass by in the near future, and at some point this will all be a distant memory, and people will be talking about it as the terrible time that it was. But I think we're all doing okay.
That's good to hear, Carl. Before I do let you go, then, what would you like to say to everybody who tunes in to watch our interview?
Never know what to say when I get asked this. Maybe keep your ears peeled. Hopefully, a fight with Jamel Herring will be announced very shortly after this coronavirus pandemic has passed.
And make sure you head to Boxing Social's YouTube channel to watch Carl's naked weigh-in, which has now done over 1 million views.
We want the numbers up. I want to hit 2 million.
I'm sure we can manage that, Carl. But I appreciate your time as always. Stay safe, and I'll hopefully see you soon to be able to do an interview in person. Enjoy the rest of your time with your family, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for being to Boxing Social.
Thank you.